Eclipse faucet. The first thing, you've seen the weight. You know how heavy it is. All the components match. If you look at a lot of even the brand name stainless steel faucets, remember a stainless steel faucet made by the brand guys is a brass structure with a stainless steel finish on it, so it can still peel like the chrome or come off or get damaged. Okay. This is sand cast stainless steel. It is stainless steel all the way through, so there's no finish to come off. And because all three components are made with the same process, they're all going to match now, today, tomorrow, forever. It's also 304 stainless, so it's going to match our sink today, tomorrow, and forever. If you use this and you use a 301,
it's different color.
It's going to look like if you take a 301 and look at it in the room here, and then you go through over there, you won't see the difference. The problem is, if you put them together, you'll see the difference, or if you put them next to that appliance, you'll see the difference. Okay? And you'll see the difference in 8 or 9 years when it starts to turn yellow or brown. Okay, all the Eclipse faucets can be mounted in any direction. Okay, so you can mount it to the back if you have an island, you can mount it to the quarter point if you have a problem with the backsplash. Now, the one thing nice about this one is that's cold to hot, so you don't have to worry about the wall or the backsplash or whatever. I mean, you can mount this to the front, but that's a little silly to do it that way. One of the unique features of Eclipse is the spring. They've now added a spring to go back. Okay, but the nice thing about this, even if you have something underneath here, it still works. Even if there's something underneath the soapbox, or it also doesn't bang on the plumbing. So it's a nice heavy faucet. Sometimes just handing it to the customer.
Yes, already.
You know. Now, the only negative to these, you don't have this installed. This is better if you have this.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, with the spring on it. The one thing though is sometimes when they're pulling out this heavy head, this will move it. So you got the one over there. If somebody's playing with it, let them play with that one rather than one of these, because this thing will rock a little bit.
Loosen it up there.
Well, it feels less solid because of that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
There are 4 gooseneck faucets. Okay. The Cascade and the Hampton are exactly the same faucet. These two are exactly the same faucet, but this one's shorter. If somebody says, if you have cabinets above or you have a window, somebody's worried about it blocking the view, these two are our biggest sellers combined, probably because of the most samples out there. Okay. The Appleton, the one I just showed you, is very similar, except it doesn't have this little ring around the neck. This one is a little sleeker. Doesn't have that ring. Okay. And then the handle goes up instead of out. Now, the nice thing about this one is it's made to go above the 4-inch backsplash, so it shouldn't interfere. But if it does, you can mount it to the quarter point and even to the front. Now, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to get my hand wet. If it's mounted to the front, I'm going to get my hand wet. Well, the faucet is usually in this sink or this sink. It's not.
Right over there.
All right, it's not really right.
Yeah, so so you've got all 4 of those. You can sell those. Now, we also have a pull-out faucet. This is the pull-out faucet. Now, this one, I would mount this one with the spring because the head, it was heavy. Customers just, about half the customers that pull it out will say, oh wow, because they've been used to pulling out
The cheap plastic one.
yeah, exactly, the Home Depot or whatever, and even the plumbing supply houses, they're not as heavy. So this gives you a nice heavy feel to it.
So all the things are cast.
All the faucets are
All the faucets.
sand cast, all the Eclipse faucets are sand cast stainless steel. Now, all the kitchen faucets come with a soap dispenser. if you see, if you go to anybody's showroom and you say, look at the soap dispenser, this is plastic and it's almost always broken. Okay, because it's just because people are doing this. Now this is a top fill, so your customer, when they mount it, they just pull this out, pour the soap in, put it back in. So I'm going to pour a bunch of soap in. Now, we started selling sinks to granite guys before they knew they wanted to sell sinks. So when we went to do faucets, we asked them, what do you want? One thing they said is they want a longer spout so that they don't have to cut the hole so close to the edge and worry about a breakout. Anyway, this is a top fill, so the customer doesn't have to, they can pick it. We've made this longer so you don't have to cut the holes quite so edge and worry about a breakout. And also, if it does drip, it drips on the bottom of the sink, not on the edge of the granite around the sink. Okay? So this comes with the faucets. If you don't, you only get a $10 credit. Most of our guys buy this even if they don't, the customer doesn't want it because it's worth $40 or $50. Okay? The only exception is the Poseidon comes with this because it matches the color, it matches the shape. So, but otherwise it's identical. Now, that's what the video is for. We used to have a stainless steel canister. The problem was you have to weld the bottom on. Something in some soaps, particularly Dawn, the anti-greaser, would attack the weld. It wouldn't attack the stainless steel, but it would attack the weld, and once it started to rust, it did. I think I saw 3 in 7 years, but they went with plastic because of that. Okay? One thing unique about Eclipse is they come with the water lines.
Right.
No other faucet that I'm aware of comes with the water line, and you can go to, these are a $20 or $25 item at the plumbing supply house, so this is added value to your customers. You tell them you get new water lines. I have gone where there's been a problem with a faucet and gone to the plumber, you reuse the old ones and kept these. So,
Well, a lot of places though, based upon code, it matters where you're at, they don't allow you to use the flexes. It matters what city.
I've never seen, for the final connection, I've never seen them not use the flex, but
They use the copper hardwire.
You're in
It
Cook
matters where
But they've used,
municipally.
I've seen cheap ones left, and the plumbers take these, because they love these, because these are really nice.
Oh, yeah.
But that's an added value to the Eclipse faucet. Okay, we have 2 bar faucets. Okay, they do not come with a soap dispenser.
No.
Okay, and they don't pull out. And we have these 2 faucets they have a pull-out head. They pull out, but they don't go from flow to spray. I've got a new head coming out for this that will go from flow to spray. But right now, they don't go from flow to spray. This is also good as a bar faucet. They're kitchen faucets that come with the soap dispenser, but this is also a good bar faucet. Okay, we have 4 lab faucets. This one is a little pricey. This is you won't sell any of these. It's a little pricey. This is our lab faucet. Now, excuse it. That's a little cold. It's been riding around in my car. That's a nice heavy. You know that. Now in China they take those and put them in hotels for 10 years. After 10 years they buy them back, put new cartridge, polish them, and resell them to new hotel companies. Wow. Because they're so solid.
That's nice.
I know.
Isn't that nice? Sometimes that one sells better free than mounted because you can feel the weight. Now, what's the biggest problem granite guys have with lab faucets?
The drilling?
No. The pop-up drain.
Right.
Okay, hits the backsplash. This is open, closed, so there's no pull handle on there.
Right.
Okay. This Rhone Alta is tall enough, it's got 8 inches clear, so you can use it for a lab bowl if you decide you want to use it for a lab bowl. Frankly, I got to get customers to use those for lab bowls because this is kind of a modern, and the vessel bowl is kind of a throwback, and you're kind of mixing styles. But in any case, it's available. If you're gonna use the Rhone Alta as a vessel bowl, you have to tell us though, because this is the overflow, you know, in the sink you got the overflow. Vessel bowls don't have an overflow.
No.
So if you use this, we have a technical term for that hole on a vessel bowl, it's called leak. So,
Technical.
huh?
Technical.
There's an extra charge for this because this comes with it, because it's technically a lab faucet, so, but we do have them available, and we don't sell these separately, so you can't. And that pretty much handles the Eclipse faucets. You know, they're all stainless steel, there's no other finish for the Eclipse, which leads me to the one problem we have with Eclipse. You can't get it in oil rub bronze. People with this wanted oil rub bronze. People were always asking, can you get it in oil rub bronze? And our answer was always no. So Jim and I, again, independent distributors, going to all the shows, we looked for 3.5 years to find faucet with a quality we could stand behind. Because remember, I get the call. You have a problem, I get the call. So that was real important to me. But more, equally important was, could we find a faucet that was not sold on the internet? It was much easier to find quality faucets than ones not sold on the internet. Friendo has been in business over 20 years when we started selling their faucets. And they don't sell on the internet. Occasionally one pops up on the internet. If we find it, you see one on the internet, you call us, it'll be shut down within hours. They're very good about, very diligent about that. And same thing with Eclipse. Anytime you see a, now there are some faucets, if you Google Eclipse faucets, you'll get all kinds of faucets because people are using our name to try to sell their faucet. If you go on this website, you won't see the faucet. And there are some knockoffs, okay, that in China, you go there, I can make a new Chris in China if I take him over there.
Right. Absolutely.
So, there are some knockoffs. If you decided that you wanted to sell Eclipse online and got one out there, there's no warranty on it. Okay, we would shut you down as soon as we found it, but there's no warranty. Anything that's bought on the internet. When somebody calls me and says, I got a problem, go on our blog. We get a lot of people called because our blog is ahead of the Eclipse stainless website. If you Google Eclipse. If you Google Eclipse, you get vampire stuff. So you have to Google Eclipse stainless, then you'll get us. We're ahead of the Eclipse stainless. So I get a lot of calls from all over the country with warranty issues. If it's online, if they bought it online, we don't honor it. Probably doesn't fit because it's probably a knockoff. But there's people using our name. Okay. So we looked for 2.5 years to find, or 3.5 years to find the faucet. This is a Friendo faucet. The first thing you'll notice is it's not as heavy. Okay, it's like everybody else's. Did I tell you this is like everybody else's? Okay, this is about $100 less your cost to do. Okay, it's got a weight, and the weight works terrific, unless you have a soapbox under the. You know, it's got to have a free channel for that to go up and down. It also can, if the plumbing's in the wrong spot, you might hear a clunk as it hits the plumbing. That's everybody, everybody with a weight. Okay? You can still mount this in any direction just like the other faucets. Okay? This is the brushed nickel. Comes only in oil rub bronze and brushed nickel. Now this is a little taller than the Eclipse. Okay. However, because it's a smaller pipe, it doesn't read as tall as the Eclipse. So it's a price point. It's got and this comes in both finishes. This is the oil rub bronze. Now this faucet is the same size as the Cascade and the Appleton and the Poseidon. It's got the same weight system. Now, all the Friendo faucets, with the exception of the first one I showed you, have this kind of seashell shape to them. The good news is it looks nice in real life. It doesn't show up well in the picture. It doesn't photograph well. It's not photogenic. You can see it's kind of, the head doesn't look as nice.
Right.
Okay, but it's still the same, all the same features. Now, all the components match. Particularly with oil rub bronze, you'll see a lot of variation in the three parts. These, we don't get that. It does have, the antique look like it's gonna wear. Everybody asks me, does the finish wear off? Because that's a common issue with oil rub bronze. I can tell you that this one has been riding around in my car for for a year and a half. In the winter, it rides on the floor of my passenger seat, so the heat blows on it, so I can, when I hand it to somebody, it's not cold like this one was. And you can see there's a few, if you look real hard, there's a few scratches, but it's not wearing off. And I've handed it to people and not, now it has a lifetime warranty, so these pipes are bent from riding around in my car, so that doesn't work as well, but that does. I mean, but the pull out.
For the replacement cartridges, are they good, somewhere I could get at Home Depot, Menards?
No, you call me up and we send them.
Okay.
Replacement cartridges.
The cartridge goes under here. Funny you should ask. That's what a cartridge looks like. Okay? Cartridge is a thing that mixes the hot and cold and turns it on and off. It's underneath the handle because that's got when you go hot, cold, on and off. Now, what this is a picture of is one of the cartridges are not unusual for them to be plugged up. One of the reasons, if it happens immediately, it's probably the first thing when plumber installs a faucet, they should install these to the wall, put them in a bucket with a rag, and bleed all the, because when you take the sink and faucet out, you rattle the pipes, and any minerals and things built up in there, you knock them loose. If you don't, it's going to go right to the faucet. Now this was a brand new faucet. They called it that the faucet was leaking, and we went out there and we pulled that out of the and that's not even all of it. We lost some of it as we were pulling it out. So debris, it doesn't matter. We're going to send them a new cartridge, but that's usually if the cartridge leaks right out of the box, it's not the cartridge. It's the install. Particularly if you've got a remodeler that's really a handyman. He's trying to do everything. A lot of them don't even know about that, so you have to tell them about that. Now, usually, after the first time, they get it. Okay. Terrific faucet. Oh, the one thing about this faucet is that's full on to full off, so again, you don't have to worry about the backsplash or the windowsill. See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. The one issue we have with this is particularly older people say that the head is too heavy. Oh, that's so heavy, I'm going to hurt my wrist. Okay. So, a good alternative is the Friendo. That's that one, right. The Friendo pull-out faucet. You can see it's a really heavy body faucet. Now pull out the head. See the difference? Yeah, hold the faucet.
Very light.
But, it's still a solid, heavy faucet, nice faucet.
By itself, it just,
Faucet is I'm going to leave this one with you. This is our budget faucet. It's less expensive. It's still a great faucet. It only comes in brushed nickel. It does not come in oil bronze. Bathroom faucets with Friendo. Again, oil bronze and brushed nickel. This is the brushed nickel. Nice heavy faucet. It's not quite as heavy as this, but close.
And this one would come with a separate. So this one would.
That does, yeah, that has the. That does have a pop-up drain.
So only those faucets come with.
That is correct. See, that's got the pop-up.
And this one has the pop-up.
Okay. The biggest advantage you have on this is somebody going to Home Depot. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty light. And not only to pick on Home Depot, I should say big box stores. All the big box stores have.
Yes.
And we have a 3-hole. Again, this has that same pop-up drain. And finally,
This is.
this comes in chrome or brushed nickel. Finally, granite composite. This is When we didn't really want to sell composites because we're stainless steel guys, but so many requesters asked for them, that we called our customers in 8 states and said, what sink won't be a problem? So we went to the original factory, original German factory, and got these out of the original German factory. They're about 80% granite and about 20% resin by weight, not by volume. The one brand starts with an E is not UV stabilized. We've seen it where it fades and you get it like almost like it's dusty. I had one customer down in Bloomington had to replace 3 of them because they faded with UV. Where do you put the kitchen sink? Right underneath the window. So that's a problem. These are UV stabilized, lifetime warranty, a great sink. I only have double equal and big bowl left and black and brown.